Hello guys, I think Guy here with the tech and gaming news for the week. As you can see, it is still not completely done around here, although it is livable. We're living here, so I'll talk about that in a moment. For now, I'll just give you the news that I have to report for this week, and then give you a small update on the channel and all that sort of stuff. For starters, and as per usual, we have a new update warning from Windows that one of their updates is not really behaving as it should. This one in particular revolves around something called Control Flow Guard, which affects browsers like Edge as well as Microsoft Chrome, and it makes your Chrome or Edge in that case run massively slower as compared to if you had not updated to this Windows update, and I mean 3 to 4 times slower. So again, good job Microsoft. I guess we are the beta testers for this, and good job on delivering quality finished updates as per usual. Yeah. Speaking of Windows updates, there also have been some vulnerabilities detected by NVIDIA on their Windows drivers that would allow for different types of attacks on users of that software, like DOS attacks, that sort of thing, to take place if you are not running the latest drivers available. So update your NVIDIA drivers if you don't do that frequently, and it should be fixed in the latest drivers, although it's a bit discouraging to see all these sorts of update issues and driver issues that are cropping up these days. It's not like it's small companies having these issues, but big, large companies. And it's one thing when a mistake happens or when a new exploit shows up and needs to be handled and fixed, and not naturally on the previous versions of the software, it will not have been fixed yet. But just plain errors like this, like Windows running 3 times slower Chrome experience after an update, it's just how this do things like this get through the net, let's call it, of quality assurance. But yeah, it does seem to happen very frequently lately, which is frustrating. As far as Navi goes, from the next generation of graphics cards from AMD, there is still not a whole lot of concrete things to talk about. There are more and more leaks and more rumors, like that it is delayed to that the Navi 20, the higher end spectrum of the Navi graphics cards line, is delayed until Q1 2020. That it cannot reach clocks as high as Vega or several specifications that have been thrown around, several price points. Yeah, what is there to believe? It's not official info. Some leaks are more credible than others, I suppose, but leaks are leaks and should be treated as such, so there is not a whole lot to report. What is there to report, however, is that NVIDIA is going to stop binning their chips for their third-party manufacturers for the custom cooler graphics cards, specifically for the RTX 2080 2070. There has been no reports about the TI if it will happen or not, but the story basically is that right now, or until now, NVIDIA was basically picking out the best ones to be put in higher end models of the graphics card, like let's say the OC editions, the ROG Strix editions that are a lot beefier, like I don't know, the Kingpin editions with all the hybrid water cooling. Those would take the so-called A chips, the best chips that bin better and that bench better, and they would be put on those higher end, more pricey cards that also perform better naturally. While if you were to buy a cheaper card, it would be still a 2080 Ti, 2080 or 2070, but compared to those other chips, it would never reach the same performance, even overclocking. So NVIDIA apparently reports that it will stop doing this. So now, no matter what model of a graphics card you get, the quality of your chip even, will basically random, and it's down to pure silicon lottery with no pre-binning available. That is, however, not to say that the partners are not able to bin the chips that they get themselves. I'm actually not sure if there's anything stopping them, but I can imagine that they might just do that themselves. However, then the cost might fall on us, and you might see a bit of a rise in price of the graphics card. But yeah, that's business, I suppose. Now, that is basically what I have seen in terms of news for the week. As you can see, still far from ready in the whole moving houses process. There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes wrong. Um, from the floor not being level, that is creates all sorts of other problems with, like, things that need to be level, like a washing machine. It's very difficult to have that stuff level, and then they start jumping around and making weird noises. Uh, Other things like isolation in some spots is not ideal. Like at some doors, the isolation is just loose or folded or just not as it should, and it is quite frustrating, and it takes a lot of time to try to correct those mistakes. I apologize. To try to correct those mistakes that should not be there in the first place. In any case, that has affected the release of the videos. As you can see, there have not been as many videos lately as normally there would be, but I will do my best to going forward to return to the previous release cycle as much as possible. Speaking of which, another unfortunate accident is that the wife's PC kind of died while in transit here. It was literally running when we unplugged it in a new house, turned it off, unplugged it, brought it here. It would just not turn on at all. Like, it died completely. I thought it was power supply because there was no reaction at all from the motherboard, so I got a new power supply, plugged it in, nothing at all as well. I took it out of the box to of the case, make sure it wasn't grounding, also nothing happening at all. And it is an older system, an AM3 socket system with still DDR3 and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, screw it, it was time for an update anyway. We were already planning to do it, so I just ordered a bunch of new stuff. And I yesterday put a PC together, so now she has a nice new PC. Sadly, the case is not great cable management, so that part of the tutorial you will not get to see, but I did tape all the rest, so I will make a full video build of putting together the components up to the point where they go in the case. I will not cover that because I cannot give you quality content of that in that case. So I would rather not present it at all than to present bad content, so to speak. So you will see, how to put a CPU, how to install a RAM, how to install an air cooler. Uh, some of that content I have shown before in lesser quality. I think I managed it better this time to capture it better. Uh, Other content you have just not seen yet. So anyway, you have a certain amount of videos coming up, also review of the system. I will not do a benchmark piece per piece, but basically a benchmark of the system as a whole, and show you guys how it performs in a given situation compared to, for example, my system. If you would like a list of the parts included, it will have 9600K on a Z390 Tomahawk board from MSI. I forget the exact name. And what else did I get again? Yeah, G-Skill Trident ZRGB RAM, just like on mine. 3.2 CL16, I believe. And yeah, none of it is sponsored or anything. Like my all my other content, this is purely my own purchases. So no sponsoring involved, no one's paying me for mentioning this or for reviewing it or anything else. Had to buy it myself. And oh yeah, and Be Quiet Cooler Dark Pro 4, I believe. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. She's not. Oh yeah, 1660 Ti obviously, but that she already had lying around waiting to be installed. So yeah, she actually has a pretty decent PC right now. It's not for power using. There's not going to be a lot of overclocking involved, if any, probably nothing at all. There will be. It's mostly for gaming, browsing the internet, and as for by gaming, I mean World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, that sort of stuff. So it's actually a very good PC for that end because those games are not very demanding. So yeah, hopefully she'll be satisfied with it. She hasn't used it yet. I just made sure it was working, updated stuff, and yeah, there it is. So yeah, you guys will be seeing those videos soon enough, and yeah, I'll be trying to launch videos more regularly and more frequently again. So yeah, bear with me, and I apologize for the lack of activity, but you've seen, if you've seen the previous movies, you have seen the condition of the house, and it is still not perfect because of poor construction, and yeah. But yeah, that's what you get when you are renting. You kind of have to go with it, especially here in Holland. There's a lot of bureaucracy, not many options. If you want to complain, there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of yeah. Let's say that the system does not favor the people. Like for example, the fact of the floors not being level and being bumpy all over the place. They are the building norm. They are allowed to have a 6 millimeter difference across a certain distance. It's like a meter or two at most, but still 6 millimeter difference across a certain amount. That's quite massive. And if it's more than that, they have to fix it. But if it's not more than that, if it's let's say 5, then you're on your own. Like they can fix it, they just won't because they're not legally forced to, and then you're on your own. And that costs a few thousand actually to equalize the floor. And we could do it, we can do it, and we will do it, but there is no time for that because I have to go back to work and we have to move in because we have to move out of the old place. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, sorry for the rant. I'll make the video longer, and maybe I'll do a separate video about this whole topic if you guys are interested, although I can't imagine you are. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Keep your eyes open for the build videos, and yeah, like, subscribe if you like the content, give us some suggestions for what to do, and I'll see you next time.